Once upon a time in a small town, there lived a character named Detox Dave. Dave was notorious for his hilarious antics, but he had a peculiar addiction collecting rubber ducks. He couldn't resist their vibrant colors, cute beady eyes, and squeaky goodness. Dave's addiction had gotten out of control, with rubber ducks taking over his entire house. One day he decided he needed to kick the habit and go cold turkey. With determination in his heart and a big garbage bag in his hand, Dave began his journey to sobriety. But breaking free from rubber ducks was no easy feat. As Dave walked down the street, he couldn't help but notice rubber ducks everywhere. In every shop window, on every street corner, even in people's front yards, rubber ducks seemed to mock him, calling out, "Quack, quack, Dave, come and collect us." Determined to resist the temptation, Dave tried distraction. He took up knitting, thinking it would occupy his hands and mind. Soon his house was filled with rows upon rows of knitting duck sweaters, each one more elaborate than the last. Friends and neighbors couldn't help but chuckle at the sight of Dave, surrounded by his peculiar creations. Undeterred, Dave sought solace in exercise. He joined a local gym and threw himself into workouts with gusto. But lo and behold, what did he find in the gym's pool? Rubber ducks, floating and bobbing to their heart's content. Dave couldn't help but burst into laughter, imagining them enjoying their aquatic adventures. As Dave stumbled from one comedic situation to another, he realized that the journey to recovery didn't have to be grim and serious. He found solace in laughter and the ability to find humor in his addiction. The more he embraced the absurdity of his situation, the easier it became to resist the lure of rubber ducks. A woman I once knew went through horrendous stuff growing up, a lot of trauma and abuse, and struggled with bipolar on and off her meds, suicidal on and off. And at one point she got to a really dark spot and got in her car and drove up to this hill in the park. But before she got there, she bought a six-pack. So she was sitting there on this hill in this park, drinking this six-pack, contemplating life or death. Had a gun, was ready to just kind of blow her brains out. As she sat there, though, she realized she had to pee. And so she decided to get out of the car and go to the bush and relieve herself. On the way back to the car, this park ranger was driving by, saw her, said, "Hey, what are you doing?" She told the whole story, broke down, and she is alive today. The moral of the story is, if she hadn't have been drinking that beer, her bladder would not have been full. She would not have had to get out of the car to go pee, and she would be dead today. So, in essence, she now states that it was that six-pack and full bladder that saved her life.